Turnpike Sports is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com. Welcome to Turnpike Sports. I'm Dave Weishattle, and as always, I'm joined by my producer and co-host, Doug Weishattle. Doug, can I take a moment right now to sing the praises of streaming TV, Roku in particular? Let me tell you the situation. Cable went out Saturday morning. We usually just return the boxes that day, but because of the labor shortage, Optimum was closed Saturday and Sunday. Thankfully, I had Roku, which means I had the Yankees, I had the Phillies, I had the Mets, I had ESPN. So I want to sing the praises of streaming TV.
Well, you also got lucky when you had a streaming capability on your phone as well.
Absolutely. I love streaming TV now. So thank you, Roku, for a fun, sports-filled weekend of entertainment. Cable TV did not beat me. I'm so proud. Cable TV did not beat me.
You are very lucky that
I'm not a slave.
It was just the cable.
I'm not a slave.
You're basically what you're saying.
To cable TV.
You're a cord cutter. That's the terminology for that.
I was very close to it. But then, I realized, because I have cable TV, because I have an account with cable TV, allowed me to get the Yes Network on Roku. It allowed me to get the CSN Philadelphia on Roku. It allowed me to get my local ESPN with the different sports. So, it's give and take, but I got frustrated very early on that I realized Roku to the rescue.
You just pray to the cable and internet gods that your internet didn't go out at the same time, because Roku is all internet, and if the internet had gone out with the cable, totally different story, I think.
I know, but oh my God, if the internet went out, I don't even know what I'd do. I mean, I read books and everything, but being forced to read books,
we'd probably have to take your shoelaces away and probably have to send someone over to watch over
the Yankees
for a while.
Were playing the Phillies. The first game on Saturday, the Phillies won in extra innings. So can you imagine if I missed that?
I just remember watching that game, and it was the Yankees down by 3 in the last inning. Somebody flashed up a stat that teams down 3 runs in the 9th inning are like 4 in 152. Then it went to extra innings. And it was kind of a weird situation. I mean, the Phillies won, but again, it was kind of weird seeing that stat flash up. And it's always the way it works. It goes into extra innings right after that.
But my point is, again, I want to say thank you to Roku and thank you to streaming TV. They have no idea how happy they made me this weekend. It's been a busy week in sports, so let's take a trip down the Turnpike. Today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Exit 1.
This past week was actually a really busy week, not just for the sports betting industry in general, but in terms of some sports betting media deals as well.
Okay.
We had a couple big ones happen. We're going to talk about the Major League Baseball deal in the book report later on in the show. I wanted to focus a little bit on two others that happened. Bally's Corporation, which has been constantly busy.
In the news a lot.
It's always doing something in terms of whether it's sports betting, whether it's online casinos. They just launched their sports betting app. They've got the Bally Sports networks going. They just did a deal with Oscar De La Hoya's KO Entertainment.
Okay. Yeah. No. Well, I think you showed me this morning. Is this the MMA show?
It's an MMA and boxing show.
MMA and boxing. Well, the part I saw had MMA, but it was very interesting. It was, I don't know, what was it called?
It's a Bally's Fight Night.
Bally's Fight Night. Okay.
And it's a combination. They're going to the show itself overall is going to be the gamification of MMA and boxing.
Gamification? Is
Yes.
that a new word now?
No, that's not a new word.
What
That's
is
been
that,
around for a while.
Okay. What does gamification mean?
They are going to make the sport look like a video game.
Well, I got to tell you, I did see a part of that. I mean, you showed it to me. It was very interesting. First, it starts off with the DJ. The DJ is the announcer.
Well, remember, they had the pilot episode. This is what we're talking about.
Was that what I saw?
The pilot episode with the DJ welcoming everybody, introducing the commentators.
Yeah.
They had two commentators.
A lot, I don't want to say neon, but a lot of bright lights. It does kind of look like a video game. But no, it was very interesting. It was a female DJ. I forgot her name. I don't know what it was. And then two hosts, and the ring or the octagon was behind them. And I guess they introduced what was going on. And
well, they're going to have.
What was that stripe across the top?
That was the power bar.
A power bar. I don't know what that
remember
means.
I don't know if you ever played the original Mortal Kombat video game.
Okay, yeah, I
or
remember.
even in the arcades.
Sure.
When somebody gets hit, their power bar decreases.
Okay, all right.
So the players have sensors attached to their shorts and I think their gloves, and the system is designed to determine how hard the hit was, and it affects the power bar across the top of the screen.
All right.
Now, what they're going to do...
You should have told me that before I was looking at it. I was like sitting there wondering, what is that bar across the top of the screen?
Well, what they're going to be doing, they're going to have five MMA fights on the card, and 4 professional boxing contests for each episode. So it's a combination of the two sports.
That's great because I really miss boxing. I'm a big boxing fan, and I really miss, when I was growing up, they had the big boxing events in either Las Vegas or Atlantic City, and I hope they bring that back.
Well,
MMA is great too, but, I kind of miss boxing.
They just did the pilot episode on Stadium, which is an OTT channel.
Okay.
They're planning to do a series of these, and on the bottom, on the mat of the ring, you saw Monkey Knife Fight.
I saw
brand.
Monkey Knife Fight.
You saw Bally's Fight Night. You saw KO Entertainment, which is De La Hoya's brand.
Okay.
And actually, the video leading up to the pilot episode was De La Hoya actually introducing what they're doing.
Now, let me ask you something. You said it was on Stadium, and I know Bally's has
a lot
of Bally's sports networks across the country. Will this be seen on the Bally Sport networks across the country?
The plan is to put it on the regional sports networks, Bally Sports, as well as I think Stadium is going to have some of these fights in replay, or maybe even doing some broadcasts along with it on the OTT side.
Well, right now I'm in New Jersey, and I don't get Bally's Sportnet, so I'm going to have to rely on Stadium to watch this.
Probably.
Which, by the way, I will. It was very interesting. I like the way they set it up. A lot of energy, a lot of it's a fun thing to watch.
It had the feel of one of the major UFC or the other MMA fight setups, and also boxing matches too. The one thing I didn't see, and that's because I flipped around throughout the broadcast a little bit. The two commentators, Mike Goldberg doing play-by-play, Frank Trigg as the color commentator. They have a third party, Holly Saunders, as the social host and reporter. She's going to do interaction with audience as well as the fighters throughout the broadcast.
Right.
And they're going to be incorporating Monkey Knife Fight
into
this for a free contest for the viewers.
Yeah. The other will the DJ stay? Because that was pretty cool the way they introduced it. I wish I knew her name. I can't remember her
DJ
name.
V or something like that.
Oh, really? I didn't. It
was really quick at the beginning, but again, it was a pilot episode. There were no fans in the stands, so it was just filmed entertainment, and it was actually done pretty well.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
The other first of its kind deal that we're going to talk about real quick here is VEASAN.
Okay.
They just did a deal with WBRZ Plus in Louisiana. Now, before I get into WBRZ, everyone knows VEASAN is on all these cable channels. MSG,
here in New Jersey, I get them on the MSG network. They have a great nightly show, which is called Primetime Action.
But they're all over the country,
Alexander,
all different cable
really
companies. Up in New England, they're on Nesson. A whole bunch of different other areas. This is their first deal with local TV. You don't need cable to watch this.
Okay.
WBRZ.
Well, who doesn't have cable now? A lot of people now are still with the antennas.
Well, you don't need one of those cable outlets to watch VEASAN now in Louisiana. It's going to be over-the-air television viewers, WBRZ Plus, channel 2.2, which is a digital channel. They're also on Cox Channel 1011. Streaming on WBRZ.com as well as other connected TV devices. It's going to be weekdays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's only 2 hours a day.
Okay.
But it's the first deal of its kind. They're actually hoping to do more of these as the year progresses, as they progress, because it would just be nice to have them, for some people, not to have them to get a cable package. If you don't want a cable package, you can do this.
I'm curious to see how antennas still work. I mean, I remember growing up, our grandparents used to have their antenna hooked up into this device near the TV where you move the dial of this device and it moved the antenna on top of their roof, and it helped you get the TV channel better. This was pre-cable.
I also remember having.
But I guess people are still doing that.
I remember having to extend the antenna with foil.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was one of those TVs that was a huge piece of furniture. So,
basically.
Yeah.
Exit 2.
Now, we just talked about the first gamification of a sport. We now have the esportification of an office application.
Okay.
We just had the Microsoft Excel Financial Modeling World Cup.
All right. Okay.
Microsoft wanted to make Excel an esport. That's basically what this is.
Excel. I mean, I'm not.
The excitement of spreadsheeting.
I do well. I work with computers, but only minimal. I mean, word processing. That's pretty much it. But Excel, that's the spreadsheet, right?
Yep.
That's the you open up Excel and they have all the boxes that you fill in with the different numbers.
Exactly.
And
they had 8 different players from 8 different countries.
What is this sport? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to get into it here.
Okay, all right.
They had 8 different players, 8 different countries, representing 8 different countries for the Financial Modeling World Cup, where they had to, and I'm going to do this, they had 40 minutes to solve a case by creating a financial model and answering several questions related to the model they created for a successful business.
Wow. Okay. Oh.
They had this set up just like a really intense esport. They had 2 commentators. They had social media going.
They had commentators.
Who tried like hell to make this exciting. Hard to make spreadsheeting exciting.
All right.
Each of the player had to create their own profile for this. The guy from Canada, Michael Jamin, I think that's how you say his name, Jamin, boasted he had drunk 3,500 unique beers before the contest.
Not directly.
Not directly before the contest. I think he was going for a little bit of a joke with that. But
a lifetime?
Yeah, it might be his lifetime.
How did that even come up?
You had to fill out your own profile.
Oh, okay.
And the commentators had to talk about it.
Why would you add that?
Don't know. Some of them had other jokes in them and everything.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was the most weirdest one. And the reason I singled him out is because the 3,500 beer guy
impressive.
Also won the tournament.
Good for him. Pretty impressive.
Let me tell you, this was actually really kind of interesting to see exactly what they were doing here. they had some very loose rules in this because it was the first one of its kind. The number of questions people answered varied. Some people had 13 questions answered. Some people had 8. Some people had 7. Some people, 1 or 2, had none. And they judged the winner by how many he got correct. Somebody had answered 13 but got 6 correct. The winner from Canada answered 7 and got all 7 correct.
I can understand watching Fortnite or watching the other games, the shoot-'em-up games, but as a spectator sport, I can't see this one really capturing a lot of people's attention.
If you are into spreadsheeting,
business spreadsheet, it'd be great for business schools.
Yeah,
it'd be great for law schools if you're doing business law and things like that. That'd be great. I mean, I wish I had more familiarity with Excel.
And the catch was...
Did I say familiarity?
You
right?
said it fine. The catch was this: the financial case that they had to solve was given to them the day before. So they didn't have too much time to actually really prepare.
Right, but
I understand that kind of time crunch.
How was this set up? I mean, did they all join in a
they were on the cloud.
Spectator?
No, they were on the cloud.
Everyone's a cloud. They were doing it at home, right? There was no stadium seating for this and people watching this, right?
Each participant was provided with access to the financial model located on the Financial Modeling World Cup OneDrive, which is also owned by Microsoft. So we have a brand new eSport.
Excel. You think this will catch on?
No.
No. Okay.
Well, they're going to keep trying. They're going to keep trying it.
Like I said, this must be big with accountants or things like that.
All I know is probably some of them got so panicked they spreadsheet their pants.
Yeah. Well, nice. Very nice.
Exit 3.
Staying with online competitions, we have the Creator Competition. It's a series of tournaments being put on by the House of Highlights, which is owned by Bleacher Report.
Okay.
I've actually seen some of these. They've had a golf and a basketball knockout before, which basically is teams play and losing teams get knocked out of the competition and get whittles down.
Oh, so like a bracket,
Yeah,
so
sort of
a bracket.
like that. Yeah, that's a nice way of saying bracket.
It's a bracket format.
So on June 18th, they are now going to have 20 different online influencers, online personalities competing in a dodgeball tournament.
Wow.
I like dodgeball.
I love dodgeball, but people, I mean, the last time I played dodgeball, I think it was grammar school or high school in gym class, and those red balls hurt. You get hit in the face, they hurt. You feel it.
Well, I don't know what types of balls they're going to be playing with here.
Now, I'm very curious. The last time I saw dodgeball was the Dodgeball movie. I forgot the name of it.
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball? Okay, it was Dodgeball.
A true underdog story, I think, was the tagline underneath it.
All right. But, I'm wondering if, with the, the big stories about head injuries, I wonder if there's protective devices now.
I would assume
will people be wearing helmets for dodgeball? I haven't looked at dodgeball in a long time.
Well, they probably have the amateur boxing helmets.
Those red balls hurt.
Yeah, but they probably have those helmets that the amateur boxing guys do, the sparring helmets.
Not only do those red balls hurt, when they hit something, and they're also used for kickball. I remember kickball. They have this, when they impact something, this almost a vibrating metallic kind of sound. Boing. Yeah. It just you hear it for miles.
And
so
it also echoes in your ear too for a while too. But they're going to have 20 players. And the reason they chose these 20 players, they have a combined online following of over 70 million people. So 70 million people watch these 20 influencers on their YouTube channels.
Okay.
They're going to have 4 teams. The Faze clan, obviously, they're always involved in something like this. 2Hype, RGC World, and AMP. They're going to be playing dodgeball on the Warner Brothers Los Angeles studio lot.
Okay.
For a prize of $250,000.
Yeah, no, so this is serious.
This is serious money.
Stuff. Okay.
Serious money,
right.
Serious event.
So let me. Where can I watch this? This is.
Well, they
sounds like it's going to be.
Bleacher
fun.
Report has created its own YouTube channel for this.
Okay, great.
Their last.
I'm assuming also I can go to Bleacher Report's website and they'll guide me.
They'll have it there. Yeah. The last knockout that they did, the basketball knockout, garnered more than 100 million views on online platforms.
Wow, okay.
So this is why they are now going to be expanding this, and they're going to have Turner Sports involved well, Turner Sports owns Bleacher Report anyway,
Sure.
but they're getting Turner Sports more involved, and you're going to see some TV coverage as well.
See, that's what I thought. I thought that was going to be on TV. Bleacher Report, I'm sure it's not going to be on CNN, but I've seen Bleacher Report on CNN as well. They do reports there, too.
Well, that's also a Turner outcropping.
Yeah, that's why I figured, it might be on TV.
Well, they've got Pizza Hut as the main sponsor.
It's going to be live on YouTube.
Yeah, on their Bleacher Report stuff, wherever. If you go to Bleacher Report, you'll see this because the House of Highlights is one of their popular features.
Okay,
and you'll see this. It's a $250,000 dodgeball tournament. I'm actually going to see if I can watch at least some highlights of it once it happens.
Okay, so you said Pizza Hut was the sponsor.
Pizza Hut's the main sponsor, and also a lot of the other money's coming from the merchandise sales.
I haven't had Pizza Hut in a long time. Do they still have that pan pizza where they give that ladle with it? You have the big pan, and the pizza comes, but it has this spatula underneath it that's
honestly,
shaped like the pizza.
I don't know. All I see is their commercials for their boxes.
I
even drove by one the other day. I saw something about a Cheez-It crust.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't know if I want to try that.
I haven't had pizza Hut in a long time.
Exit 4.
And last but not least for this week, we always have a discussion of NFTs, non-fungible tokens.
Geez. Every week now?
More and more leagues are doing it. More and more people are doing it. This one I came across, and I thought this was actually one of the more unique ones. Major League Baseball has launched an NFT line. They have partnered with digital collectibles company Candy Digital, which actually runs on the Ethereum blockchain platform. That's another type of currency that these NFTs use. The fans will be able to purchase, collect, view, and trade the NFTs, just like all the other NFT platforms out there. Nothing different right now.
Let me ask you about these NFTs, because, they're so brand new, and, it always, every time you do a story on it, it seems that they're connected to Bitcoin of some kind or some kind of
NFTs
new
are blockchain.
kind of token.
NFTs are blockchain.
Can you purchase these with normal money? Like, I don't want to say normal, standard currency.
You have to transfer your money.
Okay, I would have my standard currency. I would
go to one of the exchanges,
exchange it, get Bitcoin, and then buy these NFTs.
Now, the reason
that's
this
normally
is,
how you do it, right?
The reason that everyone looked at this one kind of oddly was Major League Baseball already has an NFT deal in place with Topps.
Okay.
Topps actually creates a really wide range of different type of collectibles for Major League Baseball, but they're hoping to do a little bit more niche stuff with Candy.
You mean MLB is hoping to do more niche
Major
stuff?
League Baseball is looking to do more niche stuff with Candy. Candy has actually got some big names involved with it. Fanatics chairman Michael Rubin is one of the leaders of Candy Digital. Gary Vaynerchuk, who is one of the biggest media guys out there. Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz is also part of it. So what they have decided to do, the first thing they're doing in this partnership with Candy, Major League Baseball, they have created one NFT, and that's all they're going to make right now.
Okay.
They're creating this, and it's going to be put on sale around July 4th.
So when you say one, they're going to do one. They're not just one NFT type. One
right
and
now
only
they are
one.
doing one of one.
One of only one. Okay.
And it's going to be basically sort of auctioned off for sale, probably. They haven't decided how they're going to be doing it. It's July 4 weekend, and it's an NFT of Lou Gehrig's Luckiest Man speech delivered in 1939 at Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
So it's a very unique NFT. It's a
good
very
one to
unique
do.
approach to do an NFT. This is basically the launch of this partnership. It's going to be an NFT of the speech. You will own the speech. You can actually resell it later. It's going to be yours anyway. Trade it, do whatever you want with it. But it's one being offered for sale, one of one.
I would think that would be very valuable to own.
And all proceeds from the sale.
One of one NFT, and that's Lou Gehrig's, and that's pretty good.
And all proceeds of the sale for this one NFT through the initial purchase here. Mm-hmm. Whatever they do afterwards is up to the person who buys it. All the proceeds from that sale will support ALS charities.
That's great.
They've picked a whole different set of them.
Good for them.
And they're going to be doing that. So, again, NFT with a purpose.
That's great.
And a very unique way of launching an NFT partnership by just doing one. Not a whole line.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. You do a lot of research on these NFTs. You know a lot about them. Are they all video? I mean, I know there's
there's some that can be sound.
There's a lot of great radio out there, not us, but a lot of great radio out there that, I'm wondering if there can be NFTs of just the audio.
There can be NFTs of anything.
Okay, all right.
As long as you can incorporate it into the software that creates the blockchain with the security and the privacy and the uniqueness of the data involved, you can create an NFT off anything, really.
Okay, great. And today's trip down the Turnpike was brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
And as always, you can get in touch with Turnpike Sports by calling or texting us at 609-512-5910. That's 609-512-5910. At Turnpike Sports is the show's handle on Facebook and Twitter. At Turnpike Sports Radio is our handle on Instagram. And as always, our email address is info@turnpikesportsradio.com. And don't forget, you can listen to the show via Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, radio.com mobile app, as well as Stitcher and YouTube. You can also watch us on your smart TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. Head on over to turnpikesports.net. You'll be able to watch our video channel there.
Got a great show coming up for you. We have the By the Number segment where Doug throws out a number and I usually get it wrong, and we let the number tell the story. And we also have a Turnpike Sports Book Report where we talk about what's going on in the sports books across the country.
During these difficult times, we understand how important it is to stay healthy and safe. With so many of us confined to our homes and not being able to work, we feel the financial burden more than ever. Many folks lost their jobs and businesses. Others were furloughed, and some are working from home at reduced pay. Keeping up with your bills is not easy under these circumstances. If you have credit card debt and cannot keep up with your monthly payments, we at Debt Fix Pros are here to help. Give us a call to see how we can reduce your interest rates and lower your monthly payments. Protect your credit and let us help you find a solution that fits your needs. We, your friends at Debt Fix Pros, are here to help. Let us take care of your credit card debt so you can focus on what is really important. Call for a free phone consultation at 800-919-6011. 800-919-6011. That's 800-919-6011. 800-919-6011. United we stand.
With some of the best promotions and offers in the sports betting market, PointsBet simply stands out. PointsBet is the only U.S. online bookmaker to offer points betting, where every yard, every point, every goal, even every play matters. Same-game parlays, good karma payouts, early payouts, and exclusive game day promotions and guarantees for all sports. PointsBet offers more bet types than any other bookmaker in the world, offering a unique set of markets that aren't available anywhere else. And now PointsBet is offering one of the best sign-up offers in the sports betting market today. New customers signing up with code BET21 receive 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Get up to $500 back if your first fixed odds bet loses, and up to $1,500 if your first points betting bet loses. That's code BET21 for 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000 at PointsBet. PointsBet, it pays to be fast. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
No matter what kind of car you drive, we have an insurance policy that's right for you. Need to insure your family minivan? We've got you covered. Need insurance for that new sports car you finally got? We've got you covered. Have an old beater that just won't quit? We've got you covered. Or maybe you hit the lottery and want to insure all your new cars. We've got you covered. Call Auto Insurance for Less to find out how much you can save right now. All it takes is just one call. Answer a few questions, and before you know it, we've got you covered. Call 1-800-679-0366. That's 1-800-679-0366. Auto Insurance. You want it, you need it, and we've got it. Call Auto Insurance for Less to find out how much you can save today. Better coverage at a better price is just a phone call away. Call 1-800-679-0366. That's 1-800-679-0366.
And By the Numbers is sponsored by Play Sugar House Online Casino and Sportsbook in New Jersey. Sign up at playsugarhouse.com/Pike and get a first deposit match of up to $250. Enjoy the casino experience online. Play Sugar House offers over 400 games online, slots, table games, hey, even bingo. It's like being in a casino without leaving your home. That's playsugarhouse.com/Pike to get your first deposit match of up to $250 today. Must be 21 years or older and physically present in New Jersey. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 800gambler.org.
And welcome back to another edition of Turnpike Sports By the Numbers, where we let the numbers tell the story. I have a bunch of numbers here. They could be anything between ratings. They could be dollar figures. They could be some kind of weird statistic. And I throw these out to Dave. Dave has not seen these before we start taping the session here. And, we just talk about what these numbers represent. He can guess at them if he wants.
My only hope is I remember one of these from the news of the week. It's, a lot of news stories come out, and sports betting and gambling is all full of numbers. So,
well, these aren't just sports betting and gambling numbers.
Well, maybe some may ring a bell for me, so that's my only hope, really.
Well, let's start off with $210 million.
Don't know.
That's the amount of money it took for TSM, the eSports organization based in Los Angeles, to change its name. $210 million.
Okay. Wow. What's the story behind the name change?
Well, this company from Hong Kong, it's a cryptocurrency company called FTX.
Okay.
If you remember, not too long ago, they just did a deal with the Miami Heat to get the naming rights to the Miami Heat Arena. Mm-hmm. $135 million for 19 years. It's going to be FTX Arena for the Miami Heat. They have now approached TSM, which is, let me get their original name, because they actually had a different name all the way at the beginning. Team Solo Mid.
Okay.
They changed it to TSM, or shortened it to TSM.
That was a smart move on their part.
Thing to do,
very
yes.
smart move on their part.
This esports organization fields teams in about 10 different video game leagues, like League of Legends, Valorant, Fortnite, that sort of, those types of games. They are actually considered the most valuable esports team in the world, valued at $410 million.
Really? Okay. That's something new.
Yep. So
I did not know
this
that.
was Forbes rating them as one of the
Okay.
most valuable.
No, I did not know that.
Well, TSM was approached by FTX, and FTX said, we want you to rename your team TSM FTX, as if TSM wasn't enough initials. TSM FTX. There's a 10-year deal, $21 million a year.
Wow, great.
And all they have to do is call themselves TSM FTX.
Okay, so that's where the $210 million comes.
Now it's going to be on their uniforms. It's going to be on some of their equipment. It's going to be, on their websites. Unfortunately, it's not going to be on any of their stuff when they play in the League of Legends and Valorant leagues. As soon as this deal was completed, Riot Games, which owns those two leagues, informed them that FTX will not be allowed to display their logo on those games when this team is playing.
Really? Why?
Riot has a restriction on the types of sponsors these teams can have.
Oh, okay.
And it just so happens the number one restricted sponsor is cryptocurrency.
Really?
Followed by alcohol, pornography, and gambling. So you also won't see a casino or sports betting site.
I got the pornography thing. Certainly,
I get the gambling thing too.
I don't know
until everyone starts allowing esports betting.
Everyone's gambling now. There's integrity things in place, so you don't have to worry about gambling. I mean,
well, you got to remember a lot of these kids are under 18. A lot of these kids are under 21. Depending on gambling,
there were a lot of sponsorships involving alcohol too in some of these teams too. So all of a sudden now esports doesn't want alcohol involved.
Well, Bud Light was sponsoring the events, not the teams.
Oh, okay. All right.
There's a difference between some of these events, too. And,
all right.
Riot just has this restriction because they have a lot of under 21 players.
And I'm shocked about the cryptocurrency thing.
The crypto, I don't understand.
Yeah, no, that's all over the place. That's the up and coming.
But I can
understand.
I can understand the alcohol, pornography, and gambling because of the ages of the kids.
Yeah, I don't get the pornography. I get the pornography thing. I don't get the other things. But
well, again,
the gambling, okay, I can understand.
If it's illegal to gamble in a state where you're not 21, you can't have the kid there with a gambling patch on. Same thing with alcohol too. So, but they're getting $210 million in 8 of their 10 leagues that they play, and they're able to actually have FTX, TSM on their stuff. Next number is 700.
I think I know this one because we had a conversation about this earlier in the week. Is this the figure that I don't know who thought this up, that they thought that a gambling emblem or a gambling commercial or a gambling endorsement will show up on the screen during a sporting event about 700 times?
It's not gambling commercials because since this is in the UK, they have a whistle-to-whistle ban about gambling advertising.
But something about gambling logos or gambling mentions or gambling logos on the screen. Someone said during a sporting event, I think it was soccer, or I think it was soccer, but they thought it would appear on the screen about 700 times. And I remember earlier this week when we discussed it, I say, I don't think that's possible.
Well,
no way could that be possible.
This came out in a problem gambling documentary in the UK.
Okay.
And according to the analysis under methodology developed by Dr. Robin Ireland at the University of Glasgow, there were up to 716 gambling exposures.
So Dr. Robert Ireland is in Scotland.
Robin.
So Dr. Robin Ireland is in Scotland.
Yes.
Okay.
Ireland's in Scotland.
Just want to make sure I got that straight.
Up to 716 gambling exposures in a match between Newcastle United and Wolverhampton Wanderers had appeared on screen.
See, I find that incredibly difficult to even picture over 700 times during one. It was soccer, right?
During a 90-minute match. The methodology came up with a number of 6 logos per minute.
6 logos per minute.
You have 5 guys.
I guess if they're running down the field, you see it on the side of the.
Well, also if you get closer to the action, if you get closer to the action,
I guess
you have 5 players.
I guess if it's on their jerseys, it's on the side of the stadium.
It's
still
everywhere.
700 times. Boy, that's a lot.
In 90 minutes, 6 per minute is. Boy. If you think about 6 per minute, it's not a lot. I mean, we see it a lot more on a hockey game now.
Maybe we're just hardened to it. We see it so often, but 716 times, it seems like a lot.
It's coming at a time.
If they have the documentation to prove it, I mean, they studied it, so I'll go along with them. But over 700 times during one soccer match.
This is why everyone is pointing out that the soccer industry agreed to the whistle-to-whistle ban on TV spots.
It's almost subliminal. I mean, you're not even noticing it.
Think about it. They're getting more exposure doing it this way than they are if they were actually having a television spot playing during a stoppage in action. And there really isn't that much stoppage in action for soccer.
Yeah, but the problem with this study now everyone's finds out about the study. Now they're going to be looking for it.
Yeah.
Now it makes the advertising even more effective.
They're still reviewing the gambling advertising rules in the UK right now. A lot of countries have started doing shirt bans, where you can't have the gambling on the shirts.
Yeah.
But they still have the pitch boards on the sides.
Sure.
So and also, it's not only the TV audience, it's actually the crowds in the stadium too now, because they're going to be watching it more too.
Yeah. Well, now I'm going to be looking for it. Now you just made their advertising more effective, because I'm now going to be looking for it.
Next number, 155 million.
The number of gambling ads seen in a football game. I don't know.
155 million per minute.
Yeah.
Yes.
155 million per minute.
No, this is the number of downloads that the World Cricket Championship video game has just reached. 155 million downloads.
We talked about cricket again this week, too.
Yes.
Some guy from New Jersey is starting something about a pro cricket league.
Yeah.
And
cricket's becoming popular.
I guess so.
I
don't understand it, so I'd like to learn it.
This game had 140 million downloads at the end of January this year.
So this is a cricket video game.
Video game. It's also the most popular one to use for eSports.
I've never seen a cricket video game.
I've never seen.
I've seen
cricket on TV. I've never seen cricket live.
I've never seen pictures of a cricket video game.
In the UK, in Europe, this is the game they use for cricket esports.
India too. It's very popular.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, part of the reason for I'm doing this is in the last February, March, April, and May, 4 months, they had 15 million downloads to add it on to the 140, which got it to 155 million. So what they're going to be doing is they're now having the video game not only speaking English, but they're going to have it in Tamil, which is one of the languages that the cricket players have,
okay,
and Hindu.
All right. Well, that makes sense.
And they're going to add new commentators for the game.
You know, this makes me think that the guy from Jersey who's involved in the Professional Cricket League might do very well with it. But these numbers are staggering about the people who are downloading this.
Cricket is an incredibly popular game in Europe. It really hasn't become popular in the United States yet. I think we're going to see cricket go the way of rugby right now because rugby is just starting to catch on.
I saw professional rugby, too.
That's what I'm saying.
Saw
You're starting to see
a
rugby.
New York team. New York has a professional rugby team, and it was playing Los Angeles, so it was very interesting. They were playing in Jersey City, though, but New York does have a team. No, but this cricket, I don't get to see a lot of cricket. The last time I saw cricket, it was before the pandemic. I was sitting in a sports bar, and for some unknown reason, cricket was on one of the TVs in front of me. It didn't have the sound on, but so I had a hard time following it.
I like how you phrase that. For some unknown reason, it was on. I guess they just left the channel on from something.
I'm sure no one asked to put cricket on.
You don't know. You don't know now.
There wasn't a lot of people in the place, but no one was around that TV, so I'm pretty sure. No, I forgot what channel it was on, but the cricket was playing. That was the last time I saw cricket.
And the World Cricket Championship game is one of the few, if only, made in India games to be featured in an esports tournament.
Wow. Okay.
Next number, 5.
5. Wow. We went from 155 million to 5, huh?
Yeah.
Don't know.
MasterCard has inked a 5-year deal with World Rugby.
Wow,
we just brought up rugby.
We just talked about rugby.
It was a great segue.
I know.
Unintentional as it was still a great segue.
I can't believe you didn't lead into it right when I mentioned rugby.
Well, I didn't want to shortchange the other story.
Okay.
So, but MasterCard inked a 5-year deal.
So we're hitting cricket and rugby.
World Rugby.
All right.
They're the global partner of the governing body's new Women in Rugby marketing campaign.
I've never seen a women's rugby match, but that would be interesting.
MasterCard is now the first worldwide partner for the 2021 and the 2025 Rugby World Cup competitions, and also the first global partner of WXV, the new annual global women's competition that's going to start in 2023.
Wow, I'd like to see that. Where is this going to be? Where can
Wherever
I watch
rugby matches can be watched.
I don't know where that is. You know, with so many cable and streaming channels, I'm sure I can find rugby. I think the professional rugby game I saw between New York and L.A., I think that was, I want to say MSG Network, but it was one of the New York networks, MSG or Yes. I doubt it was Yes, but it must have been MSG.
Well, the fact that you just said you've never seen female rugby on TV, this is one of the reasons.
Why?
They want to supercharge their efforts to increase the growth of women in the sport.
Okay.
They're going to be, the goal is to double the number of registered players and significantly increase involvement and interest from fans, audiences, players, and investors. And here's the number you're going to be staggered at. More than 2.7 million women currently play rugby.
Where do they play? College?
It's overseas and college.
Overseas? Okay.
It's not, there's no pro women's rugby yet. But this is establishing first steps to establishing something.
Interesting. I didn't know there was that many women playing rugby. It's good to see. Like I've said, I don't think I've ever seen women playing rugby, and I'm interested to see that.
And according to Nielsen, women's rugby is up 15% in established markets.
What the hell does that mean? What's established markets?
I would assume it's going to be in the UK or Europe, Asia, that sort of thing. And since 2018, and 22% in emerging markets, which would probably mean the United States, Canada,
all right.
That sort of situation.
It'd be interesting. Yeah, like I said, with so many cable channels, so many streaming channels, I mean, I'm sure they're looking for content, and this would be interesting to watch.
Well, MasterCard is
good for
jumped on board.
MasterCard. Yeah, MasterCard get down at the ground level in the United States. Good, great.
Last number of the day, 50.
50. You told me this one too. This one before as well. Hard Rock, right? They're celebrating
Hard Rock
50
International's
years.
50 years.
Yeah.
First Hard Rock Cafe in London opened in 1971, 50 years ago.
Okay.
They have signed FC Barcelona's Lionel Messi.
Wow.
As its new brand ambassador for the next 5 years. And he's the actual first athlete to partner with Hard Rock.
I'm surprised at that because isn't the stadium in Miami called Hard Rock?
Well, think about it. It's not a person. He's the first athlete.
No. I mean, since they have a sporting arena already named Hard Rock,
it's an inanimate object.
No. I can't believe the players that play in Hard Rock hasn't been signed as an ambassador for Hard Rock. You didn't let me finish. That's where I was going with this. This is, one of the Miami Dolphins. I'm surprised they didn't sign up as one of the ambassadors for Hard Rock because they play at the Hard Rock Stadium.
Well, Hard Rock has to approach them.
Well, yeah, I guess
they obviously approached Messi.
I guess they didn't want to approach anyone who plays in the Hard Rock Stadium.
They have a special set of apparel that's going to be. This is more for the cafe and their stores than the casinos.
Okay,
but there are Hard Rock cafes in the casinos.
Sure. Well, I have a Hard Rock Cafe Atlantic City T-shirt. So
you're going to see the number 10 from Messi's jersey.
Okay.
There's also going to be his lion for FC Barcelona, his own logo. And they're also bringing back the logo that they used when they did their first team sponsorship back in 1971.
What do you mean they?
Hard Rock.
Okay.
Yes. They signed a local football team in the early 70s. Branding worked so well that it got incorporated into the team's official branding.
Well, see, that's what I mean. They've been sponsoring and involved with teams for a very long time, since their beginning. I can't believe this is the first athlete as a brand ambassador for Hard Rock.
Well, again,
that's my point.
Again, it goes back to they really were probably thinking in terms of stadiums, naming rights of different things, not individual players. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the last number for the day. If you have any statistics you want us to discuss, throw out into the show itself. info@turnpikesportsradio.com is the number to reach out to get in touch with us.
The book report's next, so stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Are you paying too much for your health insurance? Are your deductibles too high? Or are you completely uninsured? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Healthcare Help Desk can help you now when people need help the most. Health insurance laws and rules have changed. If you have Obamacare, are uninsured, or your premiums are too high, call Healthcare Help Desk. It's free. New healthcare plans are available, and you may qualify for dental coverage and lower copays and deductibles. Make the free call now. Top quality coverage at the lowest prices anywhere. You may be paying too much and not even know it. In these troubled times, healthcare is more important than ever. Don't let another day go by without health insurance. Policies are being offered with very low copays and deductibles. So if you're uninsured, underinsured, or paying too much, call Healthcare Help Desk.
800-329-7906. 800-329-7906. 800-329-7906.
It's getting warmer outside, and the action is really starting to heat up on the tables at Party Poker in New Jersey. Sign up with code EXIT7A and take advantage of Party Poker's new sign-up offer of $25 free, plus a first deposit match up to $600, and start playing poker online today. Daily tournaments, cash games, sit-and-goes. The Party Poker U.S. network offers players an opportunity to participate in their favorite poker tournaments online every day, all day. And don't forget about their Sunday tournament featuring $35,000 in guaranteed prize money. So head on over to nj.partypoker.com and sign up today with our promo code EXIT7A. New customers get $25 $25 free when registering. Plus, you also get a first deposit match up to $600. That's code EXIT7A to get your $25 free when registering and your first deposit match up to $600. The cards are in the air at partypoker.com in New Jersey. Must be 21 and over and located in New Jersey. New patrons only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Free stuff is awesome, but free stuff that will spice up your bedroom is even better. Just go to adamandeve.com and select almost any one item for 50% off, and then we'll load on the free stuff. Just enter this very exclusive code, BABE16 at checkout, and you'll get 10 tantalizing free gifts, including a sexy item for him, a special toy for her, and a third item you'll both enjoy. And 6 extra special bonus items that are sure to rev your engine, pique your curiosity, and even blow you away. Plus, free shipping! Always sent in discreet packaging. Go to adamandeve.com now. Get 50% off plus the 10 free gifts when you enter the exclusive offer code BABE16. That's BABE16, because without it, no free stuff. That's BABE16 at adamandeve.com.
More bets, better odds at PlaySugarHouse.com. Sign up today at PlaySugarHouse.com and don't forget to use our promo code PIKE to take advantage of their first deposit match up to $250. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. The Turnpike Sports Book Report.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sportsbook. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E. Make your first wager of $20 or more and you'll get $100 in free bets. That's $100 in free bets when your first wager on Borgata Sports is $20 or more. Get into the action with BorgataSports.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Book Report, where we're going to be talking some state and national reports for sports betting numbers, launches. As usual, we have one or two to talk about, maybe a couple more. Legislation, we always have legislation to talk about with the ever-expanding industry of sports betting in this country, and a lot of deals to talk about. We may not get to all of them, but if we don't, they will be in print form on the Turnpike Sports blog, turnpikesportsradio.com. Click on the blog button, and you will see the print version of all the stories that we will talk about and some of the ones we do not get to talk about. Let's start off with closing the book on April of 2021.
So you're talking about a month behind, so you must be talking about Illinois.
Illinois has reported their April numbers.
Oh, wow. Great.
They had a sports betting handle of $537.2 million, and mobile accounted for about 95% of that. I'm not going into too much detail here because the important thing was Illinois reported the second highest sports betting total in the country for April. Only New Jersey did better.
Okay.
New Jersey had $748 million, give or take, a couple bucks here for their handle in April. Illinois came in second. Pennsylvania came in third. Nevada finished fourth. Yeah, Nevada is slowly going down the monthly handle thing. It'll pick up again.
It's a matter of population. Look, let's be honest. Nevada is sparsely populated when in comparison to New Jersey or Illinois or Pennsylvania. So that's the situation.
Well, I'm curious to see what Nevada's
still
main
a fun
numbers.
Place to bet, still a fun place to go, but
I'm very curious to see Nevada's main numbers because now that it's 100% open, they didn't have too many people there until the very end of the month, but there was a lot of people that went to Nevada and also Vegas in particular at the end of the month.
People went to Vegas; they didn't go to Nevada.
Well, some people, some people like the other ones.
Let's go look at the desert. No, they went to Vegas.
you still have Henderson, you still have Reno, you still have all those.
I know, but they went to Vegas.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Vegas reopened. That was the key. Other couple of numbers with Illinois reporting their numbers in April, the total sports handle for the national level of sports betting handle was $3.7 billion. This is the first month since December of 2020 that the United States did not eclipse the $4 billion mark in handle.
Okay.
It was down 20% from March. The April handle was $3.7 billion, like I just said. The March handle was $4.6 billion.
Wow. Okay.
And again, like I said, the top four shifted in terms of who was what in terms of ranking: New Jersey, Illinois, Pennsylvania, and then Nevada. Let's see. Also, revenue was down for April, 17.6 on a national level. I'm talking about 17.6% down from March. March had $256.1 million in April. I'm sorry. March reported $310 million in revenue for the nation. April had $256 million. So again, down.
Yeah, well, it's expected. I mean,
March Madness. You're getting
March is a huge month for betting because of March Madness. So,
well, now
it's expected.
Now we have our main numbers. Oh, one last little note: Deutsche Bank, actually, for Illinois, in terms of their April numbers, Deutsche Bank noted that FanDuel, DraftKings, and BetRivers generated 81% of the total mobile handle for the state. You add in Barstool, that got to about 90%. So that was the entire mobile market, basically, those three books.
So FanDuel was number one, right?
FanDuel was number one.
Okay.
Let's see. We're going over into May now.
Now we're in May.
Yeah.
All right.
We always have to start a month behind with Illinois there. So going into May's numbers, now we got a couple states, Indiana, Iowa, West Virginia, Michigan reported their retail numbers as well. One thing I did notice of the 4 states we're going to talk about, all of them had their handle decrease from the month prior. From April to May, they decreased. Except for Indiana. Their handle went up.
Oh, okay. I wonder what was going on in Indiana.
I don't know, but Indiana had a handle of $254 million. That was a 7% increase from April, which was $236. It's not a huge increase, but it is the only one so far that's shown an increase between April and May. Mobile betting was about $234 million, 92% of the month's total handle. So Indiana's mobile market is healthy. Let's see, top sports by handle. Basketball had $82.3 million. Parlays did $62 million. People love parlays in this country.
Well, yeah, no, but
football.
You got to be smart about them. Just don't, know they're extreme long shots. So
yeah.
It
depends on
I
the
do
parlays
too, but I don't do crazy amounts that I bet on them.
Well, it really depends on the parlays you're doing too. I mean, I've been doing single game NBA parlays, and I actually had six parlays in a row that I won. And I've just been picking and choosing what I'm putting in the parlays.
I did a very small parlay last weekend. I took the Sixers -2, and I took the Suns +2, and that won for me. So, parlays can work out, but long shots though.
The top sport, like I said, was basketball. Parlays came in second. Football is still paying out in Indiana. They had handles of 1.4 million, and that also.
Well, I guess they're futures, right?
And also spring football too. There's a lot of college spring football that's being played too.
They're not betting on really.
Yeah,
oh my God,
you can do that.
Oh, I don't know about.
A couple things to note here, in terms of handle. Ameristar partnered with DraftKings, led in handle, and DraftKings brought in about $81 million in handle. Second place was Blue Chip, partnered with FanDuel, and then Belterra partnered with BetMGM. Okay, so basically you're seeing almost a similar top 3 that we just talked about in Illinois. In terms of revenue, Blue Chip and FanDuel led the way with Hollywood and Barstool breaking into the top 3. So we're seeing there's little different things here. Barstool is coming up in certain categories. FanDuel and DraftKings are always going to be there. BetMGM is leading in other categories as well. It's just kind of interesting to see how these markets are shaping up here. Iowa and West Virginia both reported their May numbers. Both were down from the previous month. Again, Iowa had a handle of about $114 million. Online amounted to about 99.9 million, 87% of the total handle.
Okay.
West Virginia sports betting handle was 25.5 million. That's down from April, not by much. April had about a $26.5 million handle. May was 25.5. Mobile betting was 18.4 million of that. So again, maybe 75-80% of the total handle. Not a huge number in terms of like other states like Illinois, Indiana, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, which have really always high mobile handle numbers. Michigan, their retail books reported a total handle of about 20.2 million, just under that. That's down from April's 24 million. Year to date, the casinos have reported a retail handle. Motor City, 3.79 million in revenue. Greektown, 3.73, and MGM, 2.73 million in terms of retail handle. Yeah.
Okay. I thought MGM would be higher.
I thought so too, but
well, when I think of Michigan,
online. This is only retail, so online is going to be totally different.
When I
lineup.
think a guy sitting in New Jersey thinks of Michigan and gambling, I think MGM. So I guess they just got better publicity in New Jersey.
Again, it's Pennsylvania and New Jersey are more mature markets than Michigan.
When you say mature, you mean older?
Longer in business.
Okay.
Longer in business.
So, no, but like I said, when I think of Michigan, I think MGM. I think, that's what I think of.
Well, going over, you just mentioned New Jersey.
Okay.
We got some horse racing numbers from Monmouth Park.
Horse racing numbers.
It's not really the numbers that matter. It's something else going on that I noticed in some of these stories I was reading about in terms of what's going on with the sports betting handle. They compared it to 2019. This year's betting on the horses at Monmouth Park.
Monmouth Park.
And you're seeing a huge decrease in the amount bet so far going into this season. And one of the things I noticed, there was a conversation about the new whipping rule.
The new whipping rule?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You're not allowed to whip the horses.
Yeah, it's...
and they're wondering whether or not if you're betting on a horse that the rider can whip and actually get to the front of the line, people are betting on that, and they're not anticipating the whipping rule, which decreases the chance of that horse's urgence to get to the finish line. They're saying that's why people aren't winning as much or betting as much.
I'm curious to see if there is a less impactful way of spurring a horse on, and I hate to use the word spur. But, is there a way that you can increase it without really injuring the horse or inflicting any kind of discomfort to the horse?
Well, I think if you look at what's going on, it may just be too early to figure out. They may have to figure out certain things moving ahead in terms of how to urge the horse, because on Memorial Day, the race, all the total handle for Memorial Day's racing was down almost 23%.
Wow.
From 2019. It's affecting, I guess, the betting in terms of hesitations, maybe, or something.
They ought to publicize the horse racing a little more. I mentioned Michigan. I think of MGM. When I hear Monmouth Park, I think of the sports book there. I'm not thinking horse racing there. Maybe they should, promote that a little more.
Well, again, it's part and parcel of some of these numbers. But again, horse racing and sports betting, they still don't mix the handles. Let's go over to a couple launches here. One of the big ones was BetMGM launching in D.C.
Speaking of BetMGM.
Yep. There's a BetMGM kind of...
now when I think of Washington, D.C., I'm going to think of BetMGM just like I think of BetMGM when I hear Michigan.
Well, you can only think of BetMGM when you're within 2 blocks of Nationals Park, because that's the only time you can use it.
Geolocation has come so far in the last decade, or more than a decade, actually. I don't even remember. I'll tell you, I always tell the story when online gambling came to New Jersey, geolocation was terrible. Because, in my living room, I could play online poker. In my bedroom, I couldn't because they said one was too close to Pennsylvania than the other one. And I don't have a big house, but that's how bad geolocation was back then.
Well, just before we get a little further into the story here, just to refresh everybody's memory, this is a deal BetMGM made with the Washington Nationals.
Yep.
for sports betting. It's a multi-year partnership. They are the official sports betting partner of the Washington Nationals. And what this deal entails, they got market access for the D.C. Market. You can download the app, the BetMGM sports betting app, actually the BetMGM app right now. I don't know if you can say it any other way, but it's only sports betting. BetMGM sports betting app, you can download it anywhere in the district.
Okay.
But you can only use it when you're in Nationals Park or within 2 blocks of the park.
Okay.
Now, the other part of this deal is going to be the more interesting one, I think. It's going to be the more fun one. I actually may have to take a trip to Nationals Park at some point to see this. The 2 parties are going to build an actual retail sports book in the park.
See, that's great. Hopefully, it'll be 365 days open. Didn't we have this conversation about the other arena in Washington, D.C.? They were planning on just having the retail sports book open during
That was the initial thing.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, but which arena was that? That
Capital
was,
One.
Capital One. Okay, they have one in the arena now. They have a retail sports book in the arena, but early going on, they were talking about just having the retail sports book only open during game days. But now it's open 365 days a year. I'm assuming that the one that's going to be built at Nationals Park will be open year round.
That'll be open year round.
Good.
And also, every time a state has this set up in their sports betting law, like Arizona. Initially, when Arizona introduced their sports betting bills, they had discussions about whether or not to have the retail books open in the arenas only on game days. And then the same thing with Maryland, too. Maryland did the same thing. It's a matter of it makes more sense to have them open year-round.
I mean, if you want to make real money, open them up all year round.
Also, if you think about it, it helps the venues, too, because people are going to be using the concessions if they're not. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know. See, they got to be open year-round because it's the only way to justify having the sports book open. I mean, if you're the stadium owner, you got to have at least some other food options there.
Sure.
And people actually can sit and enjoy the games from elsewhere because you're going to be watching them on the screens.
Yeah.
So there's like a trickle down effect of all these in arena sports books that a lot of people are going to start noticing. They're going to increase revenues for the actual venues themselves. You actually may see other companies get into building venues just to get a sports book in there.
Good.
Let's see. We had PointsBet also announce a market access deal in Maryland. We just talked about Maryland just 2 seconds there. PointsBet and the Riverboat Group, which runs the Riverboat on the Potomac. Why am I having trouble saying that word?
Potomac.
But in the Riverboat on the Potomac, once regulations, everything is approved in terms of the access.
Yeah, I've been down there several times. I've never seen a riverboat on the Potomac.
Well, do you have?
When I think of riverboats, I'm thinking down south.
Well, again, if you think about it,
deep south.
There's areas of the river you don't see. If you're just in D.C., you don't really see the Potomac in Maryland. I've never actually paid attention outside of D.C. to the Potomac.
Okay. All right.
So, but PointsBet got a market access deal for the state of Maryland. And one other thing I noticed in an article, I believe it was Sportico or Front Office Sports. I think it was Front Office Sports. They reported that ESPN is exploring the idea of doing their own branded sportsbook. And this is all because Connecticut is going to be passing sports betting.
See, that was great. I remember going to the ESPN Sportsbook in Times Square, which was such a great place to watch a game. And if they handle it like that, ESPN Sportsbook would be an amazing event. If it's like their sports bar that was in Times Square that eventually closed up. But, that they seem to handle it really well.
Well, remember, they had multiple ESPN zones.
Yeah,
that's what they were called.
I have
zones.
several T-shirts from several different areas. I think they did they have one in Vegas?
They had one in Vegas,
Chicago, or something like that.
They had one in Chicago. They had one in Vegas. They had one in.
I gotta go reference my T-shirts.
I actually don't know if they had one in Philly.
No, I don't think they had one in Philly.
But they had a couple of them.
Their best one was Times Square, though.
Yes. Yeah. But again, if they can actually pull the trigger on a ESPN branded sportsbook, they're going to have a sportsbook on campus in Bristol, Connecticut.
That'd be great.
Because that would actually create maybe tourism traffic too for them.
Sure.
But they're always willing to try everything. When Connecticut started talking about passing sports betting, they were interested, and they started doing a lot of the sports betting programs we see on ESPN now. Now they're all in. They are actually getting rid of some of their big names. They're not renewing contracts, and they're bringing gambling personnel.
Good.
So it'll be interesting to see the transformation of ESPN from just the media company to a sports betting company, if that actually happens. I would assume the first one's going to be in Connecticut.
The first one might be in Vegas. Don't they do a show out in Vegas?
They have one in the link.
What's the name of the show out in Vegas?
Daily Wager.
Daily Wager.
It's in the link. It's in the link.
It's okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see if that would be their first sports.
Well, I think also
if they even go with the sports book route.
If you think about where would the easiest route to get a sports betting license would be, it might even be Jersey. You might see one in Atlantic City.
Oh, yeah, it'd be fun.
Or even the Meadowlands.
That would be really fun.
Or they could even look at doing something with one of the other racetracks, Monmouth Park. Might do well with a ESPN sportsbook there. You never know. That's a whole new ball of wax there if you think about with ESPN getting involved with this stuff. Moving over to legislation, a lot of things are happening with Connecticut, New York,
Louisiana.
Louisiana had one of two bills signed by the governor at taping time. That two sports betting bills were passed by the House and Senate. One of them was signed by the governor. The other one is awaiting his signature. I noticed two things.
It's interesting. I saw those reports, and I found it interesting that the governor's name is John Bell Edwards. Is Bell a middle name? Is Bell part of his last name? Or what is Bell? I've never heard of Bell.
Honestly, I do
and it's
not
not
know.
even spelled Bell. It's Bel. It must be a family name or something.
It's probably some.
I like that name though, John Bell Edwards.
It's
Pretty
probably whatever the descendancies.
Yeah, that's I like that name.
But two things I noticed happened. Small notes, but kind of interesting. Vermont.
Wow, we're talking. I didn't think we'd be talking about Vermont. What's Vermont doing?
Vermont Governor Phil Scott signed a bill into law that will launch a study.
I like Bell Edwards better.
Yes, that will launch a study of legalized sports betting.
He's launching a study.
Yes, we're not launching sports
Why
betting.
is he
We're going to
launching
think
a
about
study?
launching sports betting.
Why don't you drive about 20 minutes and go next door to New Hampshire and look at it? Why do you need to commission a study? Why do you have to spend money doing a study when almost half the states now have sports betting? A neighboring state has sports betting. What study do you need to do? Spend a weekend in New Hampshire, and there's your study.
Well, first of all, this is how you had to deal with Vermont. This wasn't even a sports betting bill. This was an expansion and an amendment to the alcoholic beverage laws. This was tagged on to that.
All right.
So they're going to do a study. It's going to be completed by October 15th of this year. And they're going to look at the various laws and models of the different states out there. Because they don't have casinos. They got to go with the Tennessee model.
See, that would be good for Vermont. The Tennessee model, where you have no retail sports books and you just go only online. Because let me tell you something about Vermont. I have an office in New England. Vermont is so cold in the winter.
Yep.
They got 10 feet of snow. You don't want to go outside of your house in Vermont if in the like January and February. It'd be perfect for online gambling.
Well, if you think about it, there's two models now to follow. Yeah. Tennessee, and now you have Wyoming, which Wyoming is a wide open market. There's no limits into number of books that can go in there, and it's cheap. So I think they're going to look at what makes most sense for them. Again, online only makes the most sense before anything else.
Sure.
So we'll see. And also Pennsylvania. I don't mean to shift over that quickly, but Pennsylvania had an eSports betting a bill introduced.
Yeah, they should, because Philadelphia is becoming a real hub of esports.
Well, HB 1580 was sent over to the House Gaming Oversight Committee. Now, this doesn't mean it's going to move forward or anything. This is just introduced. They're changing the definition of sports betting events to include esports. One of the few states that doesn't have esports on their sports betting bill. So, I mean, just like you can't bet on the draft in Pennsylvania. Right now, it's one of the few states that doesn't have esports on their sports betting law.
And let me tell you something. Esports is so important in Philadelphia. They have such amazing
That's
facilities.
one of the reasons why
it's
they
such a
want
great
to,
place.
because of what's going on in Philly, the esports forum that's
Makes
going to
sense.
be built.
Yeah, makes
So
sense.
They got to stay with it.
Yep.
A couple of deals to hit. DraftKings and the American Gaming Association, they announced that they are going to collaborate with that Have a Game Plan Bet Responsibly responsible gaming program.
Great.
First national rollout, technically, for this the campaign. It's going to be there's going to be some reference to it in all the 10 retail books of DraftKings across the country.
And where they have the slogan,
it's more fun when it's for fun.
it's more fun when it's for fun.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
So first national rollout for that. Major League Baseball did a deal with the Action Network. Boy, Action Network has been doing some really good stuff lately.
I reference the Action Network almost every day because they have a section there where you can you put the bets in that you did on sports books. You put your bets into the Action Network, and it tracks them for you. So it's I place bets during the day. I put them in the Action Network app, and I follow along my bets all day. I love the Action Network.
Well, they're going to start integrating Action Network content, personnel, talent, and also programming onto all the MLB sites. Digital, in terms of programming, articles. Let's see, they're also going to incorporate the talent into that Bettor's Eye MLB TV digital stream show that they have for
I
betting.
haven't yet to see that.
I watched it on Twitter a couple of times.
How often is it on?
It's once a week.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. Because baseball is like every day. I was wondering if they do that show every day.
Well, also, Action Network will be having sort of, I guess it's a companion show, Payoff Pitch, which is going to look ahead at the games coming up during the week.
It's a pretty cool title.
Yeah. So they're going to be working on all that content together. BetMGM announced a deal with the Professional Fighters League.
Now, the Professional Fighters League, did I read that they're doing things in Atlantic City?
Yes, they
Yeah,
are. Most of the stuff happens in Atlantic City.
Okay.
Especially Ocean Casino Resort, Ocean Resort Casino, whatever it's called. That's
okay.
where the ocean.
All right.
I've
never been to an event there. I've been there several times, but I just never.
I'm very curious to see.
I don't know what the
they
rooms look like. They're event rooms or whatever they call them.
They are now a U.S. authorized gaming operator of the PFL. It's not technically sports betting.
Who is Ocean?
BetMGM.
BetMGM.
Yes.
Okay.
And because PFL has a multi-year partnership with DraftKings as the official sportsbook and daily fantasy partner of the PFL. But BetMGM will be having PFL-related promos. They're going to be doing VIP events for them, and they're going to be able to use the logos and marks on their website.
I'd like to check it out.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see it. I mean, they've been around for a couple years now, PFL, and they seem to have a really good following.
So you're saying in Atlantic City they're at Ocean Resorts Casino?
That's where they are.
Okay, all right.
I always they keep changing that name on me. For the last couple of years, it's been Ocean.
Did
Resorts.
I say it right? Ocean Resorts Casino? Ocean Casino and Resort?
Let me tell you something. I always
Ocean.
go. I always go by their Twitter handle, the Ocean AC.
The Ocean AC. Okay.
So, but that's it for this week's book report. Again, whatever we didn't hit in the time we're on the air, it's in print form at the blog, turnpikesportsradio.com. Click on the blog button. That'll be up about maybe a half hour or so after this episode of the book report airs.
That'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.